Did you know one of the architects of the anti-gay movement was caught in an airport with this male escort who said his client requested something called the long stroke? Let me explain. His name is George Riekers,
a conservative Baptist minister and one of the nation's loudest proponents of the idea that homosexuality can be cured.
George also sat on the board of NARTH. NARTH existed for one purpose: convincing gay people they could be made straight by therapy. George was one of their most credentialed members. But he wasn't just a board member. He was an expert witness. Florida and Arkansas both hired George at taxpayer expense to testify in court that gay people were unfit to be parents. The state of Florida paid him $120,000 to argue that gay people should be banned from adopting children. He testified that gay people are mentally unstable and, randomly enough, suggested the same ban should be applied to Native Americans, who he also claimed was at an elevated risk of mental illness. The judge called his testimony, quote, not credible. Years before Florida paid George Riekers to defend its gay adoption ban, he helped run an experimental UCLA program on a little boy named Kirk Murphy. And the program was designed to punish femininity and reward masculinity.
What they really told him was that the very core of who he was broken.
George later cited Kirk as a success story, but Kirk's family says that therapy haunted him for the rest of his life. In 2003, Kirk died by suicide.
I'd like to talk to you about your therapy that you did with Craig. Could you just talk to us for a second about your therapy with the patient named Craig?
It's published.
We've interviewed Craig's family recently. They say that the therapy you did with him as a child led directly to his suicide as an adult. What do you say about that?
I didn't know that. That's too bad.
In May of 2010, a reporter from the Miami New Times spotted George at Miami International Airport returning from a 10-day trip from Europe. But George had company, a 20-year-old male escort named Giovanni Ramon. When the reporter called George, he had his explanation ready. I had surgery. I can't lift luggage. But there was one problem with that. The reporter had photos taken at the airport, and in them, George is pushing the baggage cart himself. Giovanni is just standing to the side watching him do it. Giovanni told the paper that they met on rentboy.com that George had paid him for nude body rubs throughout their European vacation, and that George had a specific move that he requested, one that he himself had personally named. He called it, quote, the long stroke. George resigned from NARTH and released a statement insisting he had never engaged in homosexual behavior. He claimed he brought Giovanni on the trip to minister to him, to save Giovanni's soul. But Giovanni said that's not what happened at all.